Renaissance Architecture and Cartography. Hello students! To quickly recap what we've covered so far in the class, we've learned about a period of European rebirth or the Renaissance, where after centuries of demographic, cultural, and economic deterioration, Europeans, through the rediscovery of classical or ancient Greek and Roman-based arts and learning, entered an era of improved education and notable human achievements in the arts, literature, science, and philosophy. It was also during this time where influential figures such as Michelangelo, Da Vinci, Gutenberg, and Schroeder, actually, not Schroeder, made their mark in history, right? If you think that's where Renaissance's impact ends, you are surely mistaken because the Renaissance also made a huge impact in architecture and map making. Map making? Yes, you heard that right. Map making, or what we educated folks call cartography. In the following few slides, we will explore Renaissance's architectural and cartographical breakthroughs. Let's begin with architecture. As previously mentioned, the Renaissance movement was rooted in the rediscovery of classical cultures, arts, learning, and styles. Classical meaning ancient Greek and Roman. Therefore, even the architectures of buildings and homes reflected styles similar to that of ancient Greeks and Romans. The stiff and uptight Gothic architecture was no longer in style, but instead it became all about columns, round arches, and the domes, right? It wasn't rigid any longer. It became all about being smooth. And one of the most notable innovators of Renaissance architecture was a man by the name of Filippo Brunelleschi. Brunelleschi, right? Let me say that one more time. Filippo Brunelleschi. He's considered to be the first Renaissance architect who was best known for building large domes for churches, or in this case, cathedrals. He also developed techniques for raising construction materials onto various structures and buildings. He is most famous for designing and building the dome for a cathedral in Florence called the Cathedral of Santa Maria del Fiore. For more information on Renaissance architecture and Brunelleschi, please see the Assist section. Now, let's talk about the Renaissance mapmaking or cartography. During the Renaissance, knowledge and truth were no longer considered to stem from the Roman Catholic Church, but instead from logic and science. During the Dark Ages, during medieval times, the church, what church said, was fact, but now they moved towards logic and science. And this movement also reflected in map making. Now, here's a general statement. If it weren't for improvements in cartography during the Renaissance, the age of exploration, a period characterized by famous explorers like the increasingly divisive Christopher Columbus, Hernan Cortez, and Ferdinand Magellan, who explored the world in search of cheaper and faster trading routes to the east, would not have happened. Okay? Although not much is known about the specificity of Renaissance cartography, scholars credit this era as a period of time where maps became increasingly more grounded and accurate. And maps that were created during this time were the maps that were used by these explorers to find new worlds, right? And so that's why Renaissance photography was so important. And if you want to read a particular Renaissance cartographer named Martin Waldemüller, please see the assist section. Okay? And that ends my lecture for the day. And so thanks.